After scouring the internet, I found the most outrageous Family Guy episodes of all time. These ones crossed the line from TV-14 straight to TVMA. But why, you ask? Well...
Hi there, and welcome to the Peter Griffin Side Boob Hour. Look at that side boob. How about that side boob? That turn you on? Well, it shouldn't, because that's my side boob.
Yeah, making a bit more sense now. Of course, how can we talk about Family Guy and TV ratings without bringing up PTV? The episode begins somewhere in Afghanistan and immediately cuts to Osama bin Laden, who's trying to film a threatening video.
You will be punished for your decadent ways on the first day of Ramadan. wait a minute, did I just say, what did I say, Ramadan?
Emphasis on trying. Bin Laden and the rest of his terrorist friends keep on cracking up on camera while trying to be intimidating, until a mysterious little man crashes the party.
Good day to you, sir. And now prepare to die.
After Stewie gets done whooping Bin Laden and his crew, he tumbles out of their lair and the intro begins. Yeah, just the intro. Can you tell this episode was specifically made to piss off the censors? After an incident involving actor David Pierce accidentally exposing himself on live TV, the FCC comes to a very logical conclusion.
We got 20 calls about the David Hyde Pierce incident. And as you know, one call equals 1 billion people, which means 20 billion people were offended by this.
What? What the f? The board decides to consult the chairman of the FCC on what to do, and when they do...
You've got to censor television, you fools! Now follow my orders!
Why am I not surprised that the FCC is secretly run by Cobra? I mean, both are pretty evil, I guess. When the censorship hits the airwaves, Peter is less than impressed. And after speaking with Tom Tucker of the Quahog news station, he decides to start his own TV station without censorship. And I mean, I can't blame him for being mad when content like this is what he's stuck with.
One of these days, Alice, one of these days!
I'm gonna help stimulate the economy by buying an American car.
Dude, they didn't even try to lip sync there. After setting up his equipment, Peter's personal TV station, PTV, is born. He starts airing episodes of shows that definitely should not have made it to TV, and to say his war on censorship starts off with a bang is an understatement.
Time for you to move there, Jefferson.
Oh, Archie, can't see out of my sheet.
Eat it. Will you stifle yourself? We're supposed to be incognitus.
Brian reads Peter the amazingly high viewership numbers for PTV at the Drunken Clan, and so the two decide to start working on some original programming. Brian and Stewie create a sitcom.
Oh my God, where's my roast pheasant? By now, I think it's in my lower intestine.
With a laugh track from hell. And Quagmire, he quagmires. I don't know how else to put it. The channel continues to skyrocket with success, but Lois becomes upset with Peter's less than tasteful programming.
Peter, I really want you to cancel that show with the animals having sex.
It's called Dogs Humping, and it is the cornerstone of our Wednesday night lineup.
Maybe it's like a Discovery Channel thing. Who am I kidding? We're talking about Peter here. So yeah, the Peter Griffin Side Boob Hour is the last straw for Lois, causing her to notify the FCC of Peter's inappropriate programming. But not before the boys sing out one of the catchiest and raunchiest songs in the show's history.
They may just be melodic or possibly psychotic. They're the fellas at FCC.
Yeah, that was a slideshow of every single time the show got in trouble with the censors, to the point that slipped in at the end there. They were really asking for a TVMA rating here. As beautiful as Peter's song is, the FCC still shuts down Peter's channel. Though they'll have to catch him first.
Shut me down, eh?
How did that plan not work? Peter tells the FCC that they can never stop people from being who they are, but the suits see that as a challenge and get straight to work.
Censoring real life.
His chin looks like balls. You want me to cover that too?
Honestly, I can kind of see the resemblance. Yeesh. The FCC continues their reign of censorship terror by blocking farts, tempering the bathroom, and of course, bleeping swears.
Oh, Lois, you are so full of... What? No, I can't say in my own house? Great, Lois. Just great. You know, you're lucky you're good at my or I'd never put up with you. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't even think I know what Peter was trying to say there. I don't think I want to know. Eventually, the constant interference of the FCC makes Lois realize Peter was right all along. And so the family decides to head to Washington to speak to the head of the organization themselves. Don't know why they brought Chris along, though.
Are we there yet?
No, Chris, honey, we're not.
Are we there yet?
No, Chris.
Are we there yet?
Yes, Chris. Yes, okay, we're there.
Liar!
After a fart is heard throughout throughout the halls of Congress, Peter makes his argument that indecency is built into the fabric of America and tells the lawmakers to simply look around.
Look around you. The Washington Monument. Looks an awful lot like a doesn't it? And the Pentagon? Well, you look me in the eye and tell me it doesn't look like a
Best argument I've heard all week. The FCC lifts the ban on filthy content, and poop finally has a spot on TV again. Thank goodness. Speaking of filth on TV, it's time to talk about Screams of Silence and Quagmire's sister's abusive boyfriend. It's a mouthful to say, and truthfully, he doesn't deserve the effort.
You fat, ugly
I rest my case. Things start off simple enough. Peter's about to go on a fishing trip with the boys, cracking jokes, all that good stuff.
That's what I thought a Portuguese was. Me and my brain, huh? And we're just getting started.
But when Quagmire's late to the dock, Peter and Joe decide to head off to look for him. They show up at Quagmire's house, and luckily he had just slept through his alarm.
Hey, Quagmire? You in there? Holy crap!
Oh my god! He must have autoerotically asphyxiated himself!
Yeah, while he was watching clown porn.
Oh, never mind!
Also, geez, Quagmire's interests never cease to amaze me. Peter and Joe take Quagmire to the hospital, where he ends up in a coma. The scare even brings Quagmire's sister Brenda into town alongside her boyfriend Jeff. And let's just say, Jeff isn't exactly a peach.
Alright, on the way back, I get to pick the radio station, because that was awful!
I know, yeah, it was. Just I hope Glenn's okay. I'm so worried about him.
Shut up and limp! We're in a handicap spot, you
I mean, can you blame anyone for hating him? When she arrives, Quagmire's sister decides to try and pull him back to consciousness with a childhood song.
Glenn, don't die from autoerotic asphyxiation. Your friends want to go fishing with you.
This song is from childhood?
Yep, I'm with Brian on this one. The song actually works, and the gang brings him back to his home, but it doesn't take long for Jeff to ruin the would-be pleasant moment.
And Jeff and I are happy to stay here with you for as long as you need.
Fine! Then you call my cousin Terry and tell him we're not gonna be at his karate recital.
Yeah, that's bad, right? Well, it only gets worse.
Come here! You fat, ugly If today wasn't your birthday...
If today wasn't her birthday! Oh my, this dude is evil! Quagmire can't sleep due to the constant fighting between Brenda and Jeff, and so eventually... I say Brenda and Jeff, it's mainly Jeff to Brenda. Anyway, eventually, he goes to the Griffins for help.
Hey, Peter.
Jeez, Quagmire, you look terrible.
I didn't get any sleep.
Dude, Quagmire's face looks like it was run over. Oh man, what a lack of sleep can do to you. Maybe we just need a moment to cool off. This is all a lot.
Hey, Rock Lobster!
Thank you, Peter. Where were we? Glenn gets Lois to try and talk with Brenda about breaking up with Jeff, and so the two grab lunch. However, when Lois asks Brenda to take her glasses off, she reveals one of the nastiest black eyes I've ever seen.
Do you mind taking off your sunglasses?
No, it's really not that bad. It only hurts when I see.
But you always see! Despite Lois's pleas, Brenda just won't break up with Jeff, and so Joe insists that they set up an intervention for her. Wait, intervention? What's that mean again?
What's that?
It's like a surprise birthday party, but instead of cake and presents, there's angry letters and someone who inappropriately tries to make it about themselves.
Right! How could I have forgotten that? Anyway, the intervention begins and is filled with nothing but helpful insight all around.
So, you like getting beaten, huh? Well, why don't you smoke a whole carton of cigarettes?
Okay, maybe not. Quagmire steps up and finally gets through to Brenda, though in a bit of an odd way.
Sadly, the fact that you are with Jeff proves to me that you have made a choice to make your life worse. I want the girl I grew up with back.
Which was a bit controversial because it kind of comes across as Glenn blaming his sister for being abused, which isn't great. Just when things are looking up though, Jeff busts in asking for Brenda's money and then has her drop some big news. They're getting married. Worse yet, Brenda's pregnant.
Pregnant?
Oh, congratulations! Have you thought of any names yet? Maybe Slappy? Or Bruisey? Or Keep It Down in Izzy?
Yeah, Peter, maybe not the best time to crack jokes. The boys talk about Jeff over a game of poker, and Quagmire says that they just ought to kill him, as the world is better off without people like him. Joe, being a cop and all, isn't in on that idea.
What the hell? Did you change the channel while I was going to get a beer? We're watching Leno, you
Let's waste this dick.
All right, now he's in. They grab Jeff and invite him on their little annual midnight hunting trip, quote unquote, and with Jeff's personality, there's no way he could resist shooting animals. When Jeff gets up to take a whiz, Quagmire tells Peter and Joe his plan.
All right, look, when he comes back, I'm just gonna do it, okay? I'm just gonna point my gun straight at his head before he even knows what's going on.
Kinda like this?
Right in earshot of Jeff. Jeff, rifle in hand, takes Quagmire hostage and leaves the others off nicely.
Now get those hands where I can see them. All the way up. That's okay. You can keep them the way you had them so it covers your stomach.
Thank you. You know, if this Jeff was around more, we wouldn't have tried to kill you.
Okay, maybe that was too good to be true, as he ends up just knocking them out and dragging Glenn through the woods in his car. Quagmire convinces Jeff to kill him with his bare hands, so the two beat each other to a pulp until Jeff finally manages to choke Glenn out and kill him. Holy frick, they actually just killed off Quagmire and kept Jeff? That's awful!
What the hell? I killed you!
I choke myself every day, you bastard.
Okay, spoke too soon. Thank goodness. All that autoerotic asphyxiation paid off. I never thought I'd say that. Awesome. Okay, maybe Quagmire shouldn't have been the judge, jury, and executioner there, but you know what? For Jeff, I might just let that one slide. The boys leave Brenda a fake "I'm leaving you" note that's supposed to be from Jeff, but all that chaos seemingly wasn't enough for Peter.
I don't want to kill somebody else now.
Speaking of killing, When You Wish Upon a Weinstein nearly killed Family Guy as a whole in just its 3rd season. Peter's having money issues after blowing the family's rainy day fund on volcano insurance.
Wait, that's Lois's rainy day fund.
Ah, come on. It never rains in Rhode Island?
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure we've never had a volcano either.
Well, don't you think we're overdue for one?
Touché, salesman.
I mean, to be fair, you can't argue against that logic. Doesn't raise the chances of a volcano hitting, but still, when Lois finds out about Peter's little expenditure, she calls him irresponsible and childish. What is new here? What is... Like, this is very much Peter Griffin. Though, continuing the theme of great arguments in this episode, Peter comes up with one of his own.
You better watch who you're calling a child, Lois. Because if I'm a child, then you know what that makes you? A pedophile. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna stand here and be lectured by a pervert.
How can you argue against that logic? Also, yeah, that's one of the funniest jokes in the series, hands down. Peter heads to the clam with Cleveland and Quagmire, who each say their accountants, who just so happen to be Jewish, by the way, are racking in tons of extra cash for them.
So you're saying I need a Jewish guy to handle my money?
Peter, not every Jewish person is good with money.
But why would you even say that? For shock value? Jeez, Cleveland, there's edgy and there's offensive. Good day, sir.
Peter, that literally all came from your mouth, not Cleveland's. Good day to you, sir. Peter catches Lois talking to her mom on the phone, and apparently Mrs. Pewterschmidt thinks Lois would be better off with a chimp. Naturally, Peter responds to this heartwarming convo the only way anyone would. Disney parody.
Nothing else has worked so far. Oh, I'll wish upon a star. Wondrous dancing sprite, I need a Jew.
Yeah, so this little ditty Peter sings kind of got the show in trouble with, like, a lot of the censors. Despite how insensitive Peter's ballad here is, it's a Disney song, so of course it's gotta have a fairy tale ending.
Hi, my name's Max Weinstein. My car just broke down. May I use your phone?
Now my troubles are all through. I have a Jew.
Hey!
After Peter scares off the accountant by just being kind of weird, he catches up to him and...
What do you want?
Financial advice?
Financial advice? How the hell did you know I'm an accountant?
Hello, Max Weinstein?
Yep, hope you like stereotypes. Stereotypes aside, though, Max manages to get Peter's volcano insurance money back in pretty swift fashion.
Peter, play with this. Look, sir, I have reviewed this contract, and it offers no coverage at all. And down here in small print, it says, he's signing it, I can't believe it.
What's the point of even drafting a contract like that? Anyway, the family invites Max to dinner to thank him for his help, and he fills them in about Jewish culture. After some riveting table talk, of course.
Yeah, it's like the time he soiled himself at that dinner party.
I was so sorry to hear that your father passed away.
Oh!
Max takes the family to a temple to try and fix Peter's prejudices, and Peter learns just how many folks are actually Jewish.
Optimus Prime? He's Jewish?
I didn't know Autobots could even believe in a religion. After the service, Peter tries to get Max to help Chris with his homework, but Max just has to go.
I don't know, Max. The kid's not exactly an honor roll student. Watch. Hey, he did it. See?
You sure you couldn't help Chris out, Max? He really needs it. I don't know why I'm bashing Chris, though. So do I. With Max out of the picture, Peter decides to try and convert Chris to Judaism himself to try and make him smarter. Oh, don't worry. Peter's prejudices are still intact.
Can we skip that part? I mean, come on. If Chris knew how to study, he wouldn't need to become Jewish in the first place, right? Right?
Man, I feel bad for Max. All that work for nothing. When Chris is denied admittance into the synagogue in Quahog, Peter takes Chris to Vegas to get him a bar mitzvah as quickly as possible. But when Lois finds out that the two are on the road, she dashes off and asks Quagmire if she can borrow his car.
No problem. Let me grab my keys. Here they are.
Yeah, he's quagmiring again. Lois shows up just in time to prevent Chris from getting a bar mitzvah for the wrong reasons. And after an angry mob charges at the family for disrespecting Judaism, Lois is forced to defend her family. Yep, fighting off a crowd that's angry at you for disrespecting their religion by weaponizing their holy symbol and further disrespecting their religion. Yeesh, yeah, if you couldn't tell, this episode was banned pretty quickly after airing. But if you want an episode that never even hit TV, Partial Terms of Endearment is the one for you. Here's a little taste of what's to offer in this one.
Lois, I bet I can drink more bleach than you.
Hopefully you didn't get an actual taste, because, you know, bleach. Lois takes Peter to her college reunion and meets up with one of her exes, who Peter's shocked to find out is a girl.
Well, let's just say Naomi and I experimented quite a bit in college.
No way! My wife messed around with another chick! Thank you, God!
But yeah, Lois's ex, Naomi, has an offer for her and Peter that she wants to propose at the Griffin household, and so Peter makes the ever-so-respectful assumption that she wants a three-way. Naomi arrives with her husband, and Peter's a little over-prepared, to put it lightly.
Girls, I've just finished grading your midterms, and it's not good news. Looks like you're gonna have to do some extra credit.
I think more people would find that outfit disgusting than sexy, but I could very well be wrong, and I don't want to know if I am or not. After Peter's outburst, Naomi reveals the real offer is for Lois to be a surrogate mother for herself and her husband. The next day, Lois announces that she'd like to go through with the offer, but Peter isn't as supportive considering Lois's pregnancy habits.
Mom, I can't find my jacket.
Peter, take off that belt! The buckle smells like acid!
As a single guy, I can't say whether those are normal habits or not, but I sure hope not. Even still, Lois decides to be the surrogate Naomi needs, and the operation goes great.
The insertion procedure will be performed by these South American Jovitos blowgunners.
Wait a minute, I don't want them shooting things into my vagina.
Well, perhaps you could tell them. If only you spoke Jovitos.
Don't worry, those are screams of joy. Lois is officially pregnant, and Peter is officially pissed. So he makes it his mission to cause a miscarriage. In the wackiest ways possible, of course, but as we all know, being cartoonishly awful means you'll have cartoonish things happen to you right back. Lois is insistent on having the baby, but things take a horrific turn when Naomi and Dale get into a car crash and are pronounced dead.
Naomi and Dale Robinson were pronounced dead on arrival at Quahog Hospital.
Oh my God!
That brings a whole new meaning to taking the good with the bad. The family discusses what should be done, with even abortion coming up as one of their options.
Well, you could have an abortion.
There you go, Lois. We abort it. Send it on up to Dale and Naomi. Well, they're probably waiting for it anyway. If they left their mittens here, you wouldn't keep them. You'd send them back. Abort the thing.
Peter's as sensitive as ever. Again. Can you see why this one was banned, by the way? I mean, you can't even find this one on streaming. After heading to a Parenthood center to discuss her options, Lois agrees to get an abortion. But before she does, Peter catches a glimpse of an anti-abortion video warning him that the operation could take the lives of who could be very important people.
Hello, friend. I hear you're contemplating having an abortion. But before you do, remember, science has proven that within hours of conception, a human fetus has started a college fund and has already made your first Mother's Day card out of macaroni and glitter.
Aww. Don't even try to think about how that last one could work. Just don't. Peter nabs Lois before the operation is carried out, and the family discusses the complexities of the matter back at their house.
Because it's killing babies, Brian. If God wanted us to kill babies, he'd make them all Chinese girls.
Peter, it's not a baby, it's a fertilized egg.
It's alive, isn't it? To kill any living thing is an abortion.
Ironically, it seems like Peter's the only one who wants this baby to be born now, as despite every argument the family throws at him, he ain't budging.
What if you look at the ultrasound and see that the baby's gonna be born with no arms and no legs?
You name it, Matt.
Dang, poor Meg. Finally, Lois and Peter decide to go discuss amongst themselves about what to do about the baby. And when all is said and done, the family comes to a decision.
But you know what? It's one more person to share the world with. Another little voice in the back seat of the car. One more Griffin to love and to love us in return.
We had the abortion.
Wow. He just looked right at the camera and said it as bluntly as possible. Wow. And Peter's life doesn't get any easier in Turban Cowboy either, as Peter, Joe, and Quagmire decide to take up skydiving and get the thrill of their lives while doing it. Peter hasn't felt this good since, well,
since I won that marathon.
I'm Bob Costas, here with Boston Marathon winner Peter Griffin. How did you do it?
I'll tell you, Bob, I just got in my car and drove it. And when there was a guy in my way, I killed him.
As if that joke wasn't grim enough, this episode aired a month before the Boston Marathon bombings. Yeah, that's a pretty awful coincidence. And believe it or not, that's just one of the reasons this episode was banned from TV. Luckily, things cheer up a bit shortly after this cutaway.
Pull back my chair ever so slightly. Daddy's home.
He may have missed the chair, but he just barely made it back into the audience's good graces. And if you think Peter's skydiving enjoyment ends there, you'd be dead wrong.
Libra, a strange man will drop into your life.
Pisces, be careful at work today.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said dead. Eventually, even Peter realizes he's gone a bit too overboard with his new hobby, but thankfully manages to stop before he gets seriously hurt.
Oh, ground. Damn it!
Okay, now I'm dead wrong. Or maybe Peter's dead. You know what? I'm done with that. Peter gets checked out at the hospital and meets Mahmoud, a Muslim guy who he quickly hits things off with, eventually even inviting him to the clan. The rest of the boys have a hard time adapting to Mahmoud's quirks, though, and so himself and Peter head to a hookah lounge where Peter learns even more about his new friend.
I need you to run an errand for my friend Peter.
Anything for you, husband.
That was amazing. She just listened to everything you said. Wait, that's awesome. So wait, let me get this straight. Sweet hat, obedient wife, and I get to shout Admiral Akbar when I do stuff. You, sir, have got yourself a Muslim.
Yep, once more, Peter's converting religions all for the wrong reasons. Did the writers not learn their lesson from Wish Upon a Weinstein? Oh, and if the stereotypes so far have been too tame for you, no worries, they only get worse.
Peter, this is my friend Omar. He can teach you many things about our faith, including how to ululate.
It's this. Oh my God, that's terrifying.
No, Peter, it's okay. Just sing the beginning of La Bamba, but don't say the La Bamba part.
La 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 la.
Yes, good job, you're doing it.
Bamba.
Ooh, so close.
Yep, only get worse.
Are you kidding? It's awesome. I even started wearing leather sandals with way too long toenails. See how the big ones are getting yellow?
Ah, yes, very Muslim.
Need I say more? Mahmoud introduces Peter to a few friends of his own, but is only accepted after he passes an extremely difficult test.
Who is better, Hulk Hogan or the Iron Sheik?
The Iron Sheik?
Okay, he is one of us.
Bang! That one gets me every time. Though this new friendship turns out to be built on some shady foundations, as Mahmoud and his friends just want Peter's help to blow up the Quahog Bridge. But I mean, to be fair, or give credit where it's due, there is very few people more destructive than Peter.
He's the perfect man to help us blow up the Quahog Bridge.
Ah, everybody down! So are these toys just like to take?
Okay, I take it back. Maybe there's 0 people more destructive than Peter. Maybe the Hulk, but like,
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Alright, that proves it. I've seen enough. 0. The boys explain to Peter that he's been indoctrinated into a terrorist group, but Peter doesn't believe it, so he calls Mahmoud to ask him about the truth.
Look, I'm gonna call Mahmoud right now on this cell phone he gave me. He'll tell you. Damn phone's busted. Maybe I dialed wrong.
Peter, please stop trying to call Mahmoud.
I'm sure those were just coincidences. Right. Joe decides to use Peter as an undercover agent to help stop the bridge explosion, but I think it's fair to say that Peter wasn't born with the skill set for the job.
In order to get past the checkpoint at the toll plaza...
Sorry, can you repeat all that? I just had an itch right by my microphone.
Microphone?
He's wearing a wire!
Holding Peter hostage, Mahmoud forces him to carry out the job right away, and unfortunately, the plan seems to be working like a charm.
Okay, you're good to go.
That's another one of the jokes that gave this episode such a bad reputation, by the way. At the bridge, Peter tells Mahmoud that he's making the wrong choice, but he just won't hear it. Though just as he's about to blow the bridge to smithereens, Joe swoops in to save the day the only way he can.
Hold it right there!
Mahmood, you're under arrest.
Look, Joe, I drove a van.
Yeah, that's the thing we should take away from everything. Totally, of course. Right. Mahmoud and his gang are sent behind bars, and the boys all decide to celebrate at the Clam. Peter even decides to reserve a seat to mark the occasion.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we could all use a drink.
Tell you what, let me call Horace and tell him to get our table ready.
Peter, did you just...
Let's go.
Maybe he should have thought twice about which phone he was using. In Brian and Stewie, phones end up blowing things up too, just more so metaphorically.
Oh, this day. Ah! Ow! You stink! And now I'm trapped in here with you and your stink because you were too stupid to call somebody who could help us. That really hurt.
Brian takes Stewie to the bank to go through his safety deposit box, but the two end up getting on each other's nerves pretty heavily.
I'm not having fun anymore. I feel you should know that.
What was that?
And that's when things get worse.
Did you just crap your diaper?
I got scared when the door closed.
Much worse. Stewie's gotta have his diaper changed before he gets an infected rash, and to fix that issue as well as the smell, there's only one option.
If the poo were to be removed...
I'm not following you.
If the poo were to be removed...
What is it? What are you driving at?
Eat it.
You're out of your f***ing mind.
I don't blame Brian here, not one bit. Brian says he'd rather shoot himself than eat Stewie's poop, and luckily, he's got a gun in his safety deposit box to do just that. But Stewie gets to it first.
Stewie, come on. You don't know how to use that thing.
Oh, really? What if I hold it sideways like a black guy?
I don't want any trouble.
There's not going to be any trouble as long as you eat my poo.
And upon consideration, I don't think I want either one of them with a gun. Stewie remembers that he's got his phone on him, and so he makes a call to a clothing store of all places and doesn't ask for help. Brian snatches the phone right as it dies, which pushes his temper even further. Honestly, again, I can't really blame him entirely. Feeling bad for Stewie, Brian decides to do the deed. But obviously, it's a bit more complicated than it first seemed.
Oh, God!
Brian finally finishes up, but Stewie didn't go through watching all that unscathed.
It's done.
Got some dessert for you.
This one should have been rated TVMA for the gross out stuff alone. Actually, a lot of scenes were cut out to try and keep the episode TV-14. Worst of all being when Stewie has Brian clean the last of the poop from his you-know-where.
Oh, and just do me a favor and tell me when you're about to begin, because I don't want to be surprised. Moon River! Oh, my God, there it goes. Brian, you rock. Thank you so much for doing this.
Finally, the two head to bed, but Brian wakes up in the middle of the night and grabs the alcohol from his deposit box before offering Stewie a sip.
What you doing?
Oh, hey, just needed a little drink. Was kind of saving it, but what the hell, right? Want a sip?
So, to recap, we've got child because of the gun, feces eating, and now underage drinking involving an infant. Let's see what other wonderful things we can add to that list. The two get drunk and decide to pierce Stewie's ear using a needle from a sweater, and it goes just about as well as you'd think a drunken ear piercing would go.
Oh my God! Oh, you okay?
Is it over?
Wait, move your hand. Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
What is it?
There's so much blood.
Ew!
It's stuck. Ah! Got it. How's it look? Cool.
Cool isn't exactly how I'd put it, but hey, I'm no fashionista. Also, we can add child to that list from earlier if we didn't already. Stewie starts asking Brian some questions about dog trainers, eventually saying he feels Brian doesn't live with purpose.
What are you, you know, you can just go to hell.
Look, I didn't mean to start anything. Let's just forget it, okay? We're having a good time.
How dare you tell me that my life doesn't have purpose?
No, that's not what I said. That's what you're saying.
You know what? Take that sweater off. You look like a little fag.
Okay, well, now you're just being an
Well, you might as well get used to it. You're going to be hearing a lot worse once you go to school.
Are you trying to hurt me? Because you've succeeded.
Yeesh, man, the tensions here are really strong. Also, I think the jacket looks cool, Stewie, don't worry. Stewie eventually reveals that he just wanted to see if he could get Brian to eat his poop, causing Brian to threaten Stewie with a gun.
Oh, you're so full of crap. Besides, if you shot me, it'd all be caught on that security camera.
Security camera? Oh my God, maybe somebody can see us! Hey! Hey, somebody help! We're in here!
No one's out there, Brian. They want to come in. Save your energy.
Oh my God.
What?
It's all on tape.
What's all on tape? Oh my God! Oh, that is gonna be on YouTube!
You know, I bet you that's someone's personal form of hell. Or maybe it's my personal form of hell and I'm just projecting. Maybe it's most people's I'm just gonna move on. The morning after all that, Stewie cracks open his bag and starts eating an energy bar. Wait, what?
You've had energy bars this whole time? You What?
Not energy bars, Jenny Craig Anytime bars, and you just bitched yourself out of a bite.
I'm sorry. All right, can I have one, please?
All right.
Can you give me a caramel one?
No. You can have strawberry yogurt.
Ew, strawberry yogurt? Honestly, I'll take the poop over I'm just kidding. While chowing down, Stewie asks Brian why he even has a gun in the first place, and after some convincing, he cracks.
I keep it in case I ever want to commit okay?
Wow. Oh my God, you're serious?
Yeah, that's why this episode's rated MA. It gets really heavy from here, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Brian goes on to talk about how Stewie's right about him not having a purpose and adds that the scotch they drank was supposed to be his last drink. Stewie then asks one final question of clarity.
So, is that why we came here? Were you gonna end it?
No, I was just putting money in my Christmas club.
God, I have to get one of those. You know, last year, I only had $30 saved when the holidays came around. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, thank goodness. There was at least an ounce of normalcy in all this. Come to think of it, I need to start my own Christmas savings account. Come to think of it, I need to start a savings account. Wait, do I even get paid? Try and talk Brian out of that mindset. Stewie explains how he'd be entirely lost without Brian, and despite everything, admits something deep from his heart.
I like you a lot. I guess you could say I really like you. I would even dare to go a little further, perhaps. I care a great deal about you. A very great deal. Maybe even deeper than that. I love you.
He had a hard time getting that one out, but he got there. Good work, Stu. Finally, the bank opens up, and the two are able to walk out, only now with more love and appreciation for each other than when they were locked in. From there, Stewie heads off to a putting green on the water in the Cleveland Loretta quagmire.
Damn, what is it about golf that always brings out the worst in me? So, Annika Sorenstam, you're quite the female golfer, aren't you? Yes, quite the female golfer. Ha! I knew it! Look! Everybody look!
All this does is raise questions I don't want answered. Peter invites the neighborhood onto his boat to serve them drinks with a secret ingredient.
Fizeste pipi no ponte? Fiz sim, mas infelizmente já tinha feito. Então só ficou umas pingas.
It's so secret, even Peter has no idea. Quagmire catches a fish, but unfortunately, it gets launched in Cleveland's wife's boobs. This could only happen to Quagmire.
Oh, sorry about that, Loretta. Hey, can I have my fish back?
Oh, you're gonna have to reach into the cookie jar.
I can't just, you're my best friend's wife, reach into, all right.
Yeah, you go in and get that.
Loretta, they have some of that three-bean salad you're so fond of. Hey, Quagmire.
Loretta seems oddly into Quagmire, and Cleveland seems oddly indifferent. Meanwhile, Joe falls overboard, with perfect form, I might add. Seriously, 10 out of 10 entry. When he's brought back aboard, nobody knows how to perform CPR besides Peter's butler, and so the gang decides to take a class to learn it. Peter takes things a bit too far, though.
Ah! What the hell are you doing? You know, I don't think he's hurt. I'll get to you in a moment, sir. I'm gonna have to check and see if he soiled himself.
Just a hunch, but I think you'd be able to tell if he soiled himself without having to take his pants off. But what do I know, right? After getting his CPR license revoked, Peter hears Loretta yelling and, still wanting to be a lifesaver, heads into her home valiantly.
Peter Griffin, temporarily suspended CPR. Holy crap.
We should go.
Boy, that was embarrassing, huh? Walking in on Loretta in Cleveland having sex?
That wasn't Cleveland. It was some white guy.
What was that?
Shut up and put some more of that sugar in my bowl.
Lesson learned. Even if valiant, don't break into people's houses. Peter tells his friends about what he saw, though Quagmire, knowing Peter saw his back but didn't recognize him, realizes he's in hot water.
Oh, God, I'm screwed. This is worse than that time I had to fess up to the nation. My fellow Americans, I did gagoogity that girl. I geschmoigeried her geflavority with my googus, and I am sorry.
Somehow, I still got the gist of what he was saying there. Peter heads out to tell Cleveland the bad news, and to be fair, if there's anyone who's good at telling folks bad news, it's Peter.
You've got the AIDS.
I know that'd make the impact a lot less stressful for me. Also, yeah, that song really, Yep. When Cleveland gets the news, he asks Loretta if it's true before she calls him pathetic and kicks him out of the house.
Goodbye, Cleveland.
I love you.
I don't know how he loves her, but I'm rooting for him, poor guy. Luckily, he's got good friends in the Griffins who allow him to stay at their place for as long as he needs.
I want to sing a little song that kept me going when I had troubles.
We were at the beach. Everybody had
Matching towels.
A bed to rest in and live music? Now that's what I'm fucking talking about, man. Although maybe Cleveland should think about leaving before the family finds reasons they can pick on him.
So just treat him like one of the family.
You mean like Cousin Janine, who were polite too, but then mock her diabetes on the drive home? She can't eat caramel.
Exactly.
They can be ruthless, those Griffins. Peter decides Cleveland needs to cheat on someone to get back at Loretta, and apparently knows just who to talk to.
Oh, God. Let me throw something on.
Peter and Brian recognize Quagmire's butt tattoo as the only thing they remember when they walked in on Loretta's affair, and realize Glenn's been involved all along. Though even when Peter tells Cleveland that, he's as indifferent as ever, and to Lois, that's just not right.
Cleveland, don't you see? This is why your wife left you. You gotta push back a little. You gotta get a little rough. Oh, God, Peter, hit me.
Yeah!
Ow!
Wow, so that's something about Quagmire and Loretta, huh?
You know what? Let's just move on. Peter does everything in his power to get Cleveland's manhood to come out.
Hey, look at me. I'm Quagmire. I had sex with your wife. Giggity, 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 giggity.
Those are so his mannerisms.
But yeah, it ain't working. Until Brian, Loretta gets involved.
Glenn Quagmire, you're dead.
I'm sure this will just end in a peaceful conversation, right?
Cleveland, relax, 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 relax. There you go.
Peter sees this brief moment as an opportunity to warn Quagmire, and so he heads off in his speediest vehicle.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God!
Quagmire is sent to Mayor Adam West's place to stay safe.
Forbidden to smile. Oh, no. That episode of Growing Pains when Mike's friend Boner ran for student council.
Elsewhere, Peter realizes he has to try and get Loretta and Cleveland back together, and so he heads off in his second speediest vehicle. Finally, the climactic showdown is here as Cleveland tries to bash Glennon with a bat. The real takeaway here is just how much we learn about Quagmire, though. Actually, I think I could have guessed this house would be like this. We learn absolutely nothing. Cleveland catches himself at the very last moment, and instead of choosing violence, decides he and Loretta should just end their marriage. Luckily, himself and Quagmire manage to continue their own relationship through a bit of friendly sparring. Though the sparring is quickly interrupted by...
The National Weather Service has issued a severe hurricane advisory and is urging everyone to stay indoors for at least the next 36 hours.
No, what happened?
Yep, we're talking about Seahorse Seashell Party. The Griffins are trapped inside their house with no TV, and so have to find some way to pass the time. Peter has some marvelous contributions.
I got an idea. How about you all sit there quietly while I make dad noises?
Though maybe not go on for a full minute, marvelous. That joke goes on for a minute, if you couldn't tell. Brian takes mushrooms and starts seeing some wonky stuff before smartly stumbling off. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever unsee that. The rest of the family decides to enrich themselves with some games.
Finger.
I'm gonna finger bang the two of you at the same time. Hey, me too. Bang.
Oh, no one wants by you, Meg.
Finger bang yourself, Meg.
He walks right into another.
I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II. Ah! Ah! Oh, God! Oh, God!
And look, I know earlier I said that bullet ricochet stuff was hell, but like, dude, maybe this is hell.
Do you like my soothing voice? Return the map. Return what you have stolen from me.
Nope, no questions. This is hell. Hell! Get me the hell out of here! Back in the living room, Meg gets fed up with her family lambasting her, though she really kind of comes off as unfancy when she complains like that.
You guys all think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
See, that's what I'm saying. But no, for real, Meg starts tearing into her family for their mistreatment of her over all the years, starting with her own brother.
Chris, you treat me like you hate me, and I don't know why. Do you have any idea what that feels like? What if I said those things to you? What if I started calling you a fat, zitty loser who who has no friends and smells like an old woman who has birds for pets.
What does an old woman who has birds for pets even smell like? Now I'm curious. Chris, get over here. Next up is Lois.
Is this coming from my role model mother? The or the drug addict, the star?
Oh, so what? I'm a better person now because of those experiences.
Are you? Are you a better person?
And you gotta admit, all those things are kind of entirely true about Lois. Jeez. And the cherry on top of Lois's shit Sunday.
And honestly, when I turn 18, I don't know that I ever want to see you again.
Dang, that's heavy. Hopefully the rest of the family can at least take some of the sorrow off of Lois.
I'm so disgusted with my behavior, and I'm so sorry, Meg.
Yeah, you're a bitch.
Why did I think they could? Finally, Meg's got Peter on the docket, and she saved her hardest task for last.
You are completely selfish.
All right, I see what's going on here. You're in love with your old man.
He's gonna be hard to crack. There's just so much stupidity to get past, though eventually she does manage to get through to him. Kinda.
Take a good look at yourself, Peter Griffin. You're a waste of a man.
Wait a second. These are criticisms. Hey, Lois, tell her to knock it off.
Oh, and where the hell were you when she was laying into me?
I was thinking about getting a fancy cane. Maybe getting more attention from strangers.
In classic Peter fashion, he treats it half-assedly. It's only when the entire family starts to get at his throat that he starts to finally feel ashamed.
I didn't ask to be in this family!
Peter, you come back here!
I faked all my orgasms!
Let's just all pretend like we didn't hear that last one. Holy frick. After her outburst, though, Meg talks with Brian, who's just made it out of the shroom hell, and realizes that she may need to be the family's punching bag to keep everyone else happy. So she apologizes to her family for yelling, just accepts that, and the dynamic goes right on back to normal.
I'm sorry, you guys.
You're a
Yes. Yes, I am.
People really hated how Meg denies her abuse here, kind of, essentially, and yeah, I can't blame them. That was ridiculous. The abuse gets right back to normal quickly, too, as in, not all dogs go to heaven. The family head over to a Star Trek convention, and Peter sees someone with a great costume.
Meg, come take your picture with this space alien guy.
No, Dad, I don't want to.
Come on, it'll be funny. What a wonderful novelty photo this will make. Thanks so much, buddy. Hey, how'd you make that awesome mask?
It's not a mask. I have the mumps.
Oh, sorry, Meg. So yeah, Meg's got the mumps. Turns out Peter didn't vaccinate her or himself to the disease, which is pretty dangerous. Is it as dangerous as this, though?
Oh, I know exactly where you're coming.
Ow, it's in my eyes!
I'll let you decide. Let me know in the comments section below. Peter's taking extra precautions to ensure he doesn't catch Meg's illness, but doesn't stop to think what his family would do with an open ventilation tube.
Jackass number 2.
This whole day has been one big laugh riot.
I'm not sure I've ever vomited because of a fart before. Though maybe Peter's just extra on edge with the mumps stuff. Meg starts catching some religious programming on TV that asks her if she's unloved, but I mean, come on, that one answers itself. Of course she's loved.
Meg, your mother made soup for you. Here you go, honey.
Well, you know who does love you? The Lord.
Here's your milk.
See? So loved. Once Meg's mumps are gone, she heads to the kitchen and starts acting much happier than usual, which puts a big old smile on Peter's face.
That's right, folks. It's going to be a Meg episode. Stick around for the fun. Here's the clicker. No one would blame you.
Or not. Dude went out of his way to break the fourth wall just to convey how much he hates his own daughter. Meg keeps pushing the family to watch her religious programming, eventually causing Brian to drop a bombshell.
Brian, you're a thoughtful person. Are you willing to open yourself up to God's truth?
Oh, you're barking up the wrong tree, Meg. I'm an atheist.
What's that?
I don't believe in God.
The family is distraught by Brian's opinions, but it's Chris who brings up the best point of all.
You're not gonna get anything for Christmas, Brian!
And buddy, that's all the incentive I need to believe. Give me the presents! Meg tries her best to get Brian to believe in God and really takes advantage of the fact that he still has his dogly characteristics.
Hey, Brian, in hopes that you'll open your heart to God, I wanted to give you this cross. Would you want it if I threw it over there?
No, please don't do that.
Go get it, boy!
You know, I don't think having your your dog chew on holy symbols is going to get you any points with the big guy upstairs. Even still, Brian won't budge on his beliefs, and so Meg lets Channel 5 News know that
there is an atheist among us.
Local churchgoer and junior Christian soldier Meg Griffin has identified the atheist as Brian Griffin of Spooner Street.
Even Mayor West gets on the Brian hate train.
Shocking, to say the least. I'd rather have a terrorist living in our midst. At least they believe in a god, even if it's a smelly brown god.
Though I think he's got hate for more than just Brian. Yeesh, what a statement. Sure enough, Mayor West isn't the only one who's pissed either, as the hate starts to spread to the Griffin's front lawn.
Well, this is nothing. Probably just a random act of violence.
I'd like to take this time to point out, how do you throw a car? Brian can't make it anywhere through town without being bombarded, but for him, the worst part of it all is nobody will even sell him a drink.
Come on, you know you want a drink.
Yeah, come on, Brian, drink us.
Yeah, you big silly ass. Just wrap your lips around me and take a big gulp.
Oh boy, is Brian on mushrooms again? He's gotta quit seeing things. Brian decides to lie to Meg by saying that, yeah, he does believe in God now, wanting her to spread the word throughout town. He even suggests that the two celebrate by drinking the blood of Christ.
Do you like the wine?
Very much. What is it?
It's my blood.
I have to leave.
Nah, sit down.
But to really celebrate, Meg gets Brian to enact God's will and takes him to a book burning.
We have to destroy everything that's harmful to God.
The only one I'd really advocate for burning there is Stephen Hawking's book, but that's only because the author's misdeeds. Also, what the frick? That last joke did not fly well with religious groups at all. As for what Stewie's been doing all this time, babysitting.
You are absolutely the most insufferable group of I have ever had the misfortune of spending an extended period of time with.
I still have 5 prize tickets from the carnival.
There was nothing for 5 tickets. We've been over this.
Oh, you thought I meant he was being babysat? Oh, no. He's the one babysitting others. And he's enjoying every second of it.
That's it. Goodbye.
I mean, hey, at least he wasn't babysitting Quagmire.
Wait a minute. Something's wrong. All right. You girls ready? Don't you laugh at it.
Though after his sex shenanigans, Quagmire gets some good news in Quagmire's dad.
Guys, I got some great news. My dad's coming to visit.
Finally gonna get to meet the man of 1,000 vaginas.
My dad's eating more pie than Kirstie Alley.
What?
I don't really get the joke, but I'm glad Adam West did. Quagmire's dad is coming around to celebrate his wartime accomplishments, but Quagmire wants to introduce him to the boys first and foremost. Though, to be honest, he seems a bit more eccentric than Quagmire's stories let on. I mean, like, what exactly is going on here? If he's happy, I'm happy, but like, what is happening? Thankfully, they finally get around to introductions.
Dad, this is Joe and Peter.
Joe and Peter! Which one are you?
Peter, sir.
Look at you. You're a chow hound, aren't you, Pete? Don't want to get behind you in the mess hall, huh?
No, sir. No, you don't, sir.
I'd stand and salute you, sir, but this is the best I can do.
I'll take it. And a saluty Rudy toot tooty back to you, my friend.
Joe, it's the thought that counts, man. Peter and Joe are left alone with Mr. Quagmire for a moment, and that's when they really start to put things together.
Remember, the sky was a majestic orange. The breeze was just warm enough for short sleeves, but, you know, not so warm that you break any kind of a sweat.
Big gay fuck.
Big gay fuck, yeah.
There's gotta be at least a million nicer ways to say that. I'll just let you hear his description.
Well, then how do you know he's gay?
Well, a lot of little things. The way he talks, his mannerisms, and he had the complete DVD set of Sex in the City between his butt cheeks. He had the DVD set. I was just being colorful with the rest of it.
I looked it up, and that means that he'd have to have like 6 DVD box sets stuffed between his cheeks. Is that even humanly possible? Do I want to know? Am I ready for such an answer? Moving on, Peter goes to tell Quagmire his suspicions, but again, Peter doesn't really tread lightly while doing so.
Hey, remember when we met him the other day and he danced for a while?
Oh,
yeah, no, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. It was gay.
Quagmire refuses to accept his dad might be gay and tells Peter that he'll see how much of a tough guy his father actually is at his Navy ball. Well, the ball comes around and...
Come on, Dan, let's get a drink. Ha, it's great to see you back in your element tonight, surrounded by seamen.
Seamen. See, Quagmire, I told you he's gay.
Shut up, Peter.
And if that doesn't spell it out for you, maybe this will.
Your dad was cock of the walk, Glenn. Every day at rifle training, he'd help me clean my butt.
Your dad had the best penis in the military.
Okay, just stop! Stop! Everybody stop!
But when Glenn runs off to ask his dad the big question, it turns out he isn't actually gay.
But I am a woman trapped in a man's body. And while I'm in Quahog, I plan to have a sex change operation.
Oh, come on, just be gay.
And here we have it, folks, where things start to get controversial. Because you see, it's quite the complicated topic, and Glenn doesn't know how to feel about it. So he talks it over with the Griffins and...
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
Lois, that's not helping! Glenn takes Peter to the hospital while his dad gets his operation and ends up getting some news.
How is he, Doc? Is he all right?
No, I'm afraid not. But she's gonna be just fine.
Oh my God!
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa!
Seems like everyone but Quagmire is happy. Even Peter, I guess. Glenn has he and his former father, now going by Ida, head to the Griffin's place for dinner, and everyone treats her with nothing but respect.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet Ida.
I made a crumble.
Thoughtful. Throw it away in the outside garbage.
Maybe Lois just hates crumbles. A guy can hope. Speaking of hope, Peter hopes to have the big question he's had on his mind answered.
Okay, you know what? Elephant in the room. I'll say it. So, Ida, you miss your penis?
Thank you for asking it.
No, it's okay. It's a perfectly normal question. But the answer is I still have my penis inside out to simulate a vagina.
Come on, Dad.
I'm glad Ida's okay with the questions being asked, but food for thought, maybe that's an after-dinner type of question.
So tell me about those knockers. Is that just like implants, or did they reassign some ass fat up there?
All right, I'm out of here. I wonder if I could push mine inside. Oh my God, it worked! It's gone! I can't believe... Oh no, it's back.
Again, maybe an after-dinner question. How does all this crazy stuff just fly at the table for the Griffin? Never mind, it's the Griffins. Again, we should know this at this point. This is completely normal. I'm just saying, dude, my family would have pulled a Glenn and walked out the second a penis was mentioned. Either that or just laugh. Though Glenn walked off for different reasons than table etiquette, and when approached by Ida, he lets her know the truth.
For me, it was easy. Do I want to be happy the rest of my life or miserable?
So now you're happy and I'm miserable.
I see. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Dang, that's cold. Ida drives off just as Brian makes his way home to Quahog and stops by a hotel bar, where he meets, but who else? Ida. And yeah, the two hit it off.
You know, we are in a hotel.
And I'm in room 406.
Go on ahead, I'll settle up. Put it on 406.
I've got a feeling this is going to end poorly. Brian returns home the next day and tells Peter and Lois about his new girlfriend, even showing them a picture. Yeah, of course they burst out into laughter because you know who it is.
You know what? You're just jealous because I found a real woman.
Not exactly suitable for all ages. Just insensitive, really. I mean, it is kind of funny. Brian tells Stewie about his weekend, and Stewie tells Brian about his own with Quagmire's former dad. Eventually, he drops her name to Brian, and as soon as this dude pieces it all together... And after a full, count 'em, 30 seconds of nothing but vomiting...
Oh, what? What the hell? What's wrong with you? I had sex with her at the Marriott! Oh, why? I didn't know it was her! Oh my God! How does this happen? When they move to a new place, they're supposed to notify the neighborhood. That's how it works. He didn't actually move. He's just visiting.
That's not even, that is not how that works, Brian. Okay, I think we need a moment. Can we cut to commercial? Can we do that on YouTube even? We really should. Ida heads back to Glenn's and Quagmire apologizes for how he acted. Hey, glad to know Glenn's more accepting now for some reason. I don't really know what happened between then and now to prompt this character change, but I'm not complaining. It's awesome. And even better, Ida has some awesome news to tell her son.
I met someone.
What, you did?
Oh my God, Glenn, he's amazing. I couldn't be happier.
Really? What's his name?
No!
Oh, dang, we should have taken a deep breath.
If I ever see you anywhere near my house, I'll blow your head off!
Okay, everybody, take some deep breaths. We'll all be okay.
Hey. I fucked your dad.
Hyperventilating. Yeah, anyway, believe it or not, Quagmire's troubles don't even end there. As in extra large medium.
And I will tell you your future.
Stewie decides to help Chris go after his crush, and I'll let Chris put it in a way that only he can.
Hi, Chris.
That's the girl?
Yeah, isn't she special?
There's something up with her, isn't there?
Yeah, she's got Down syndrome.
Oh, okay, well, there we go.
Actually, that was pretty straightforward and respectable. Unfortunately, I think that's where the respectfulness ends for this episode. He actually manages to get a date with the girl, and so Stewie preps Chris for his big night with a song number that has gone down in infamy.
You must impress that ultra-booming, all-consuming, poorly grooming, Down syndrome girl.
The song is catchy as hell, but it's just the little jabs at people with Down syndrome that make it kind of hard to listen to sometimes. I mean, like...
Ultra swinging, donut bringing, gaily singing, ding-a-linging, stupefying, fortifying, stimulating, titillating, kitty-cat, impersonating, fascinating, captivating, happiness and joy creating. Down syndrome girl!
Dude, I'm pretty sure every good thing that Stewie said there, it had a negative, counterpart to it. Not exactly gonna fly well with the censors. Do they care? No! If they did, this video wouldn't exist in the first place, now would it? The date goes, out the window, actually, as after a pretty cruddy dinner, Chris takes his date home, and...
Alright, that is it. I don't care how hot you are. You know, I used to hear that people with Down syndrome were different than the rest of us, but you're not. You're just a bunch of assholes like everyone else.
Yeesh, I mean, the girl was being pretty rude to him all night, so maybe it was deserved, but still. Stewie congratulates Chris for at least having the courage to have asked her out and tells him that he made the right decision to leave her as well.
Thanks, Stewie. I'm just sorry I never got to make out with her.
Well, she would have crushed your scrot into a diamond with her robot strength hand. Come on, let's get out of here.
Gotta slip in one more teensy-weensy jab in there. Though, at least Chris isn't getting into a relationship like Meg and Peter's in the episode Airport 07.
Dad, what are you doing?
Meg, I'm a redneck, which means I am about to do something to you that you will not remember until you're 40.
Peter starts picking up some redneck tendencies after he visits a comedy club, and, you know, at least he didn't pick up anything from the last show he attended.
I was at a comedy club. I hear this guy's hilarious. He played Kramer, you know.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
All I'm saying is, if you know, you know. Peter returns home with a massive and obnoxious truck, and right from the get-go, Stewie knows how awful this is gonna turn out.
Ugh, this is gonna be more painful to watch than when he ate half a fudgesicle in one bite.
Oh boy, a fudgesicle!
Peter paints over his truck's back window, which, as we all know, in a pre-rear view camera world, is a fantastic idea.
Peter, what the? Ah, damn it! Hey, come back!
Wow. I mean, maybe he was just giving them a ride?
Well, come on!
Nope, definitely not giving them a ride. Peter takes Quagmire to the airport for his piloting job, but inadvertently causes him to be fired after stealing his plane's fuel. Thankfully, Quahog News covers the crash as tastefully as they can and doesn't glorify or exaggerate even an ounce of the story.
Now here's how it would have looked if the plane had crashed into a school for bunnies, but one passenger had survived, gone home, and mercilessly beat his wife.
I'm alive! But boy, am I angry! Someone's gonna have to pay for this!
Truth is that nobody got hurt. But who would want to watch that? Come on, think of the ratings! Quagmire ends up homeless and eventually is taken in by the Griffins, where he quickly acclimates to his new life. I mean, he even grows a bond with Chris. How bad could that be?
And what does 8008 look like on a calculator?
Oh, boob!
Boob, yeah, all right, boob!
Depends on your definition of bad, I guess. How's Quagmire less mature than Chris? Don't answer that. Eventually, Lois feels that he needs to be pushed out of the house, but Peter doesn't want to leave his friend out like a prom night dumpster baby.
I'm just a prom night dumpster baby. My story isn't long, but boy, it's awfully sad.
That song caused so much outrage. So honestly, it's a Quagmire episode. Were we gonna be expecting anything but the raunchiest jokes possible?
Hey, just an FYI, really no reason to go into any greater detail than this. Stewie should probably never use this pacifier again.
Okay, so I'll talk to him tomorrow?
My point exactly. Peter comes up with a plan to get Quagmire's job back, where he'll knock out some pilots mid-flight and have Glenn save the day by flying the plane from there. One problem.
Both the pilots are unconscious and we're in a nosedive. If only there was someone on board who could save us.
I said if only there was someone on board who could save us.
Where's Quagmire, you ask? Oh, well, where do you expect?
Oh, that was great.
Thanks. I know you have a choice in airport sex, and I appreciate your choosing Quagmire.
Ever the sleazeball. Or, I'm sorry. Who else but Quagmire?
Who else but Quagmire?
He's Quagmire, Quagmire.
Giggity, giggity, goo.
In a last-ditch effort, Quagmire heads to air traffic control to talk to Peter over the radio.
All right, now do you see a button that looks like a drunken gay guy eyeing you from across the bar?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, press the button right above it.
What would that button do exactly? Now I'm curious. Finally, despite all the chaos, the gang managed to land the plane together and even get to catch the end of the in-flight movie to boot.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, yes, she did.
No, she did.
Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it.
Whoa, all right, yes, she did. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.